And welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. Today with me, guest host.
I am Porter. I play the onepiecetcg, and I am here.
Fantastic. I'm so glad to have you here. And I'm really glad to have you here because I think the next game, we're going to be able to see you on the gameplay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Get to see him on camera for, is this your first time?
Yeah, this is my first time on camera for this.
Fantastic. All right. First, let's get ourselves into the gameplay. So first off, let's roll over here. Tell me about what you were doing.
What was I doing indeed? So this is an abomination that I created out of blue, yellow, ace. This is not the standard build, although it seems like the standard build of this deck is no longer the standard build. The basic idea is you're using your leader to filter the top 5 cards of your deck and hit a 5-drop out of your life to put onto the top of your life face up, and then you can capitalize off of that using something like a Makino, Kazuki Hiyori, Flampe, or something like the Edward Newgate. That's all like your main plan is just life gain and such. Mm-hmm. And other than that, it's just 5 drops that work well with the deck. I'm also playing some weird cards like the 7-drop Shanks, which paired with the leader effect, if you squint really hard, is 10-drop Lin. It's not, because your opponent has to have 7 cards in hand, but it's all right.
I think I see it. Join us at home to just watch it. I'm pretty sure I see it. Yeah. You're right. Switching just hard enough, you can get there.
But other than that, it's just like the 5 drops, the cards that get you stuff from life, mm-hmm. and a couple
of... Do you get to manipulate your life with this? I know yellow does that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the cards like the Makino and the Newgate do, is they let you stack your life.
With cards of your choice, right?
From your life, change the order of them.
Excellent. So you can basically see some of these maybe trigger effects and stuff and stack them right.
Yeah, like you want to see the 0 cost event, you're the one who should disappear as your bottom life always, because if it's the last card in your life, you trash a card and get another card off the top of your deck for life.
Wow. That's quite powerful in this game, especially seeing the tempo play from here. Alrighty, and what did you play against?
Was the red-green Luffy, and this deck is crazy. I mean, just being able to constantly swing in with your Kid Killers and your Cavendishes to restand Dawn. You've got the unblockable Luffy for stuff like that. You've got plenty of 2Ks. Bonnie is just such a powerful searcher, being able to do that every turn if you don't have an answer for it. And just plays a lot of rush units, can restand a lot of stuff, has removal in Jet Pistol, and just being able to constantly restand stuff with the leader it's just a super aggressive deck that really goes wide.
Yeah. And we got to see this thing in game 1. If you were here during that earlier match, this thing put in so much pressure, just dropping rusher after rusher after rusher. I think we saw 3 Zoros in one of the games, right?
Yeah.
It absolute amount of pressure, and that Luffy put in some good work. Is this a spice kind of Luffy, or is this?
No, this is pretty standard in red. I mean, it's just one of the best red cards out there from the first starter deck, and it's just put 2 Dawn under, swing, and they can't block.
Yeah, and this was when the Zoro deck was reigning supreme, right? When it first came in. Yeah.
I mean, set 1, I think Zoro wasn't as prevalent. I think it was mainly Eustace Kid that was the main deck, but Zoro was around. It was 2 that really red became
the just best deck in the format.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I remember seeing the plays back then, and I gotta say, the fact that you just said Eustace Kid was the most powerful, those lore buffs out there, that was an interesting play. I think Oda probably had something to say about that. Changing up pretty good for OP2.
I mean, there's also that, and he's still kind of kicking around if you've seen the latest chapters.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Maybe he'll get that redemption arc. He's so well deserves, because I think if you've been watching One Piece as long as I have, I'm waiting for the time where we just show Eustace Kid get his moment to shine, because he was a fan favorite right from the get-go. And I remember Oda was saying that he didn't actually intend to do anything with the supernovas.
They were a last-minute addition.
Yeah. Hey, we got another subscriber. Thank you so much, ZK Knight of #1. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate the subscription. Remember, if you're out there, please help us out. Use those Basil bucks. I really appreciate it. All right. So, should we get into the gameplay?
Yeah.
Let's get into the gameplay. Really looking forward to this. We're going to skip ahead just a little bit. Probably something I should have taken care of. Oh, you know what?
No, this is the
last match.
game.
Yeah. We're professionals here. We know exactly what we're doing all the time. Like, we would never, ever make a screw up like that. Oh, we got a nice, like, a good one here, too. Can you see some good back and forth here? Let's get that off camera. There we go. Oh, come back to the die roll here. Let's see who gets to start first. 11. Wow, from Monkey here. That's going to be a harder one to beat.
Yeah.
And a 1, yeah, I don't think you're going to catch up regardless.
Yeah. No matter what it was,
yeah. That's an instant loss.
I don't think I won a single die roll last Tuesday.
Have you noticed that makes a big impact in this game?
Occasionally. In best of 3, it's not as big of a deal.
Mm-hmm. I think that's exactly why we try to do the best of 3.
Right.
I don't want the die roll being the biggest factor to determine whether you win or lose. No one likes to just lose based on that kind of randomness here. So both players are going to be drawing their 5. They get the opportunity to do how many mulligans? 1
mulligan.
Okay, and it's complete full. So in Magic, we have this like mulligan roll where you got to take 1 card in your hand. Do you have to do that?
Nope. It's all of them. Although you will see that sometimes it is an act of hubris to mulligan that I may have engaged in with this first game.
Okay, so you thought your hand was decent, but you thought it could get better.
Like I was like, I can probably find some playmakers going into it, and like it was an all right hand, just lacking a lot of like early playmakers. And then I just got the opposite of what I needed, and basically nothing.
No, that's a shame. Yeah, you got to play out those top 5. I know that. Is there any kind of thing in Yu-Gi-Oh for this, like the mulligan rule? I don't remember. It was
no,
like 5.
No mulligans. Yeah.
4 life here because of course most dual color leaders do have 4 life. There's only a few out there that have 5, and it really has to play on the effects of that leader. But you as well on 4.
All right, and you can
1
see
down and pass. 1 down and pass.
That's standard going first play, and Luffy with the Nami.
Hey, ZK Knight says, "What's up? What is up, ZK? Welcome to the chat."
And getting the Zoro off that Nami is
huge.
Good.
That is absolutely huge.
I mean, this is why Red was so good for so long.
Yeah, start off with a nice little Nami play, reset up the hand, get some extra resources here.
And now we're going to my turn, and we're going to be seeing me just put 3 Dawn under, and swing 8 at lead. Just didn't have much else to do, so just tried to get some pressure on.
Okay. Is this Nami a blocker?
No, it's...
All right.
If it was a blocker, then it would be way too crazy. Maybe, like, actually would have made sense to be banned in set 4.
Ah, makes sense. That extra resource pool. But I see... So your strategy here is to try and whittle him down before he gets up to a higher Dawn level? Is that...
It's just get pressure on early. If... Like, I just didn't have much else going on in my hand, and it was just... I wanted to get the pressure in, and you can see, like, just not be completely behind because I knew he had the Zoro. And
so a person getting the Zoro off the top is like a good indicator that I must go faster because he's going to have a bigger board state.
I mean, just Red in general, if you know you're going into Red, you want to, like, try and play aggro if you know you can't, like, really control the board.
Okay.
You see I put 2 Dawn under leader. You use the leader ability to look at the top 5 and get 5 drop to life.
Okay.
And I didn't find anything, it seems. Yep.
As variance, the great equalizer. Sorry about that.
No, that's the deck, is sometimes you just whiff.
So we're going full Dawn here. Really want to make sure that we can't... is this to get rid of Zoro, or...
No, this was a life. Probably should have got rid of the Zoro.
Double swing on here. Okay, and it's always good to learn here. Especially, it's easier in hindsight. But I remember what we were just talking about. You said that you want to put the pressure on this Luffy as soon as possible, knowing that he has so many rush cards. So getting those heavy swings without being able to get countered, or at least eating a massive amount of resources from hand.
And there's the Cavendish.
Oh, jeez. Here we go. The powerhouse of the deck. This Cavendish, is this going to get a C ban?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
I mean, Green is going to be all right coming set 7 and specifically Supernovas with the new Bonnie leader, but it's not going to be bannably strong.
So we had 6 going to life here, and nothing on the trigger. But just a powerhouse card. It obviously can't activate the first when it comes out, so at least it doesn't have that.
Restands on play, but...
Oh, wow. Okay, it restands 2 on play?
Yep.
Wow. That is extremely powerful. And then being able to roll it back into a Bonnie play afterwards, too?
Yeah.
That's... Wow.
Getting another Cavendish in case the first one gets outed.
Okay. Yeah, one of the rules of the Cavendish is that you can only have one.
I believe the specific text is you can only activate the effect if you have no other Cavendish, and that was a swing with leader, and I countered with a 1K.
Nice. Get those easy 1Ks now, and he's tapped out Don, so he wasn't going to get any more attacks in here. But imagine this time, this board state, what is your focus to try and get this board state back? Are we going still lead?
I mean, you want to be trying to resolve your leader every turn.
Absolutely. And these 2 don't count towards attack?
What 2?
The 2 that you're adding,
they do.
Okay, good.
It's just a matter of what do I want to put on? Like right here, being able to potentially see a 5-drop ace would be really good because I have 2 life or less, and if I was able to play that from hand with something else, although it doesn't seem I found much, and you can see me unintentionally cheat a little bit there with accidentally.
Yeah. Luckily, there is not a whole lot of reshuffling stuff, and when things go to the bottom, it pretty much is going to not see the light of day.
This deck is kind of the exception to that because you are constantly cycling through things. So here I'm just swinging into what I'm guessing is I don't know what I'm swinging into here, and got countered. So it was a 5-drop, probably the lead, and there's the 5-drop Luffy and a pass from me.
Okay, and what's this Luffy do?
Trash the top card of life, draw a card.
Okay.
And get plus 2,000 power.
Wow. Okay, so nice aggressive play on that side if you were able to go first here. Yeah?
What?
It's used for the aggressive play when you're really just trying to go for life instead of setting the board state here.
It trashes your own life, and it's just constantly you're using leader ability to put something into life, trashing it, drawing 1.
Gotcha. Okay, doing that on recycle here. It says we got 2 chats here. Little Pound Cake says, "Don't worry, we'll see the next ban game with Sakazuki." Yeah, I've heard the big bad who's been running the tournament here is going to get himself a ban. Is this next week that we're going to see this?
It was like the 20-something, and here we're just swinging in with the Zoro.
And all right, got a nice little counter here.
Countering.
And ZK Nice says, then we got to deal with the red-purple law. I've heard some amazing things about the red-purple law. Do we have any red-purple laws here at LifeLink?
I don't think anyone played it this week because I think we kind of bullied everyone who was going to play it out of it. I mean, I think the kid was playing it, but like not a constructed version.
Understood. Okay. Yeah. Hold my seltzer dog. Trust me, Diego will find a way. If you know Diego, him and I agree. There's no format that's ever settled. If you get a good enough player, you can pretty much run with anything. Obviously, there's some really powerful cards like this Cavendish and those Zoro Rushers, but they don't always have it. Hey, Tony Chopper seeing some play. Glad to see some new cards in the gameplay. I'm a big fan of this one.
Solid card.
Yeah, Divine Lotus says my last OP. Okay, so his last opponent had red purple law. Okay. So we do have some good red purple law content. I don't think we're gonna have that today though.
No. None of the matchups are law today.
Yeah, I think if you stay tuned, you're going to be able to find ourselves against that big bad Sakazuki, who's only got 1 week to live, apparently.
A bit more than that, because it was like the 20-something.
Okay.
The ban list goes into effect.
Well, I know this new set's going to be released here soon, right?
Around the same time the ban list comes into effect.
Gotcha. So all those Sakazuki players, play it while you still can.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to get another activation from you.
I'm first. I guess I'm swinging first.
Okay. Why would you do that before activating the effect?
I don't really know. I mean, I guess the plan was in case I hit something off of it, so that in case there was a trigger or something, I didn't, like, if it triggered a jet pistol, it would have killed whatever I played first.
Okay.
And you see I put an X-Drake into life because it's a 5-drop. Problem is, face-up life gets trashed at the end of my turn because of my leader, but usually you have plays to get around it. And here you see I play the 7-drop Shanks just to flip it down. My opponent didn't have enough cards in hand to actually get the effect off, but just being able to flip the life face down so that I have more life and potentially live another turn.
Yeah, you just tied it back up to 2-2 here.
I mean, I wouldn't consider this a tied board state.
No. Life maybe, yeah, but yeah, right. The red-green Luffy definitely has a overwhelming board state here. Just notably 3 swingers, yeah? Unless they really want to overload the Nami.
Yeah.
And I don't think Bonnie, does she ever attack?
Not typically.
Yeah, the value of that constant draws is well overwhelmed over the attack, yeah?
And there's a Kid Killer, which is going to be swinging in and getting plus 2,000, so I had to counter for 3. And there's the Cavendish, restanding 2. Took.
Yeah, because we already knew what that one was.
Yeah.
And the stack of life, that's always the same order?
What?
So the way that the stack of life here, for those at home, in some games you might be able to like take from different pieces, but you're required by the rules, yes, to take it from the top down?
Yeah.
Okay. So as we see here, that this top deck here would have to be the first one taken. You can't take the option to manipulate which one you can take when life is taken.
Unless you have certain cards that let you do that.
Absolutely. And that's yellow that usually does that?
Yeah, which is the color I'm playing.
Yeah.
I just didn't see any of the cards I needed.
Oh, that's a shame. All right, 5 coming in to lead here, imagine?
Yep. Probably trying to bait out some counters or something.
Okay. All right. You got one.
Yep. And now we restand. Swing with Kid Killer again. Gets another 2,000, so that's a 9,000 attack Kid Killer. And playing another 3 or so, it looks like. Or 4, I guess. And that's another Kid Killer. That's at 7, and I had the out. Or, well, not the out, but
at least
I lived.
Yeah, you got to survive this turn. You're going to be at full down at this point?
Yeah.
So how does your deck... Oh, you only got 1 card in hand. Did he empty your entire hand with that last swing?
Pretty much.
Wow. Is there anything that, like, maybe a top deck magic or a miracle play would get you out of this thing in your deck right now?
Maybe. It kind of depends on what I would draw from here.
Okay. Using the ability from lead, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's hope that you can put up something against this massive board state. So do you think playing against red-green, it's better to try and control their board than it is to constantly put the pressure on lead? Or is it one of those things where like you just got to hope that they don't have this rush that we see in here from red-green?
I mean, I feel like they're always going to have it, and I 100% should have been focusing more on the board instead of
life on lead.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, people at home, like if you're going to play against this deck, make sure you control this board because it seems like it gets out of control real fast. But you got 3 counters from that hit. That's not terrible. So a 10K going at lead, and he ate 3 resources, but he still has 2 life, so essentially 3 hits.
Yep, and there's the rush ace.
All right.
Swing 7.
Gets 1.
Yep.
All right, 3. And you've already activated the ability, yeah?
I have not, and there's no reason to here.
Okay.
And that swing was just game.
Yeah. You didn't have any resources left in hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we knew that there was no counters coming back from this side. That was a good fight. All right. Well, Greg, yet again, taking down game 1 of this format. This red-green Luffy's putting in a lot of work. And imagine just the amount of rush and bigger wide... the way that this state goes wide against this deck is extremely impressive. So, game 2, what's your mindset here?
Hope I can take a game.
Okay, but I mean, there's got to be something more to it. It's like you imagine you're like, am I going to be more conservative? Get the ball on the play here, which is good for you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm able to get the even ramp, which really helps the deck out. And from here, I'm just also hoping I draw better is part of it. But there were I should have definitely focused more on the board, and I think I realized that a bit into this.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of the things that hindsight's like, it 50-50, right?
Yeah.
But the ability to see it now, this is one of the things I love about recording these kind of Magic game, especially for me as a Magic Gathering player. I get to look at this stuff and see where I screwed up. Right. I get to be on camera so often that I just learn, like, this was how I should have played this through. So next time when I play against that deck, or similar situations, I know how to act. It's all about getting better.
Right, and Nami just added a jet pistol there, which means that is telegraphed removal.
Yep.
So at the very least, it's telegraphed. I just 2-Dawn pass. So this is a 3-Dawn turn for...
Is that a free counter? That jet pistol?
It's not a counter. It's an event. 4-Dawn, KO anything, KO one card with 6k or less power.
Okay.
And here comes the Zoro. I take the life. No trigger.
Okay.
And
was there a reason you didn't swing at lead? Oh, because you... Why did that turn you not swing at lead?
Can't attack first turn.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yep.
And so here I'm going for lead ability. And I put the 5-drop Yamato onto the top of deck.
Okay. Anything that 2 is going to be able to flip that thing face down?
I mean, if I played it, probably. Trying to think. Yeah, I was just thinking about if I wanted to swing first. I still was swinging at life. I probably should have swung at the Zoro there. And yep, there's the Hiyori.
Mm-hmm.
Get that to hand, put another one.
Of your choosing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great combo here. So now you can possibly set them up with a nice little trick counter where the cards happen when you take a life and it trigger ability. Yeah.
I think if my memory serves me correct, this
no spoilers, but the point of like
trigger.
Yeah, like you get the opportunity to hit the trigger here, and that's one of the powerful things about Yellow does, right? You can just manipulate that, and then you're in his head telling him, I probably did that. And now you know exactly when to.
And yep, here comes the trigger for the Gravity Blade to bottom deck the Zoro.
Wow.
Unfortunately, after Zoro got a swing in, which isn't ideal, but it is still very good. And there comes down another Zoro, which, I mean, 1 down.
Yeah. And a great play on your part here.
Yep. And there's the counter.
And then into Nami number 2.
Yep.
Good resources here. Nami not a blocker? No?
No.
Okay, so just something you might want to put in some Dawn into if you want to get extra attack. Hey, that's a nice little Tony Chopper. Which is notably a blocker.
Yes. And now it's going to be my turn coming up.
All right,
I'm going for a lead.
So you have to lead 5 deep?
Yep, 5 from the top. And it has to be exactly 5 cost to put into life.
Okay.
And the combo is just find something and then use a card that can take advantage of it.
Oh,
excellent. See there's a Luffy. So now I'm guessing I probably have something else that I...
Oh, what would it take to get, I think it's Hiyori here? No, what's her name? I'm sorry.
The Hiyori, yeah.
Yeah, Hiyori. What would it take to get here and just get Zoro off the board here?
If I wanted to swing with the Hiyori, I would have had to swing a lot, but like Hiyori, I'm just...
Power?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just putting a bunch of Dawn to clear that Zoro.
Smart.
Because now I've realized that, I should be trying to stabilize the board, and now play the 1-drop Flampe, which lets me add the Luffy to hand and then draw an additional card.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's really where it paid off, because you added that yourself, and then were able to add it to your hand with this ability. So nothing's lost on your life.
Yeah, this is the bread and butter plays of the deck, is just being able to put something into life and then immediately use that life as a resource.
Brilliant. I love the combos list deck. It looks like really promising. If you hit the right pieces, it really feels like it's going to be too impressive to get around here. So we got 9 at
8. It looks like
8. What's that? 8 at lead.
And I took
3 here. Tony Chopper, get that block on. So I mean, you already put him into a defensive position. Would you say here? I mean, getting rid of both Zoros, and I mean, he's going to be a higher Dawn next turn, so you got to worry about those bigger rush. Creatures, characters, sorry. this is a really good situation for you, having controlled the board state more than just trying to go life early on here. And which of these decks do you think does it better in the long game?
I would say yellow is better suited overall as a color for the long game than red, because red just wants to rush in early. There are a few big bombs red has, but I don't think any of them are being played in this.
Okay. I want to see that beautiful combo. Maybe you can see a payoff here. Putting 5 Luffy in the life to maybe turn it face down to add some life to your pool. Looking with what looks like 5 Dawn.
I believe it should be 6.
6 Dawn?
If I'm on the even curve.
You started. You were on the play this time. So you're on the odd, right?
No, I was on the even. I was on the odd last turn.
You chose to draw?
Yeah, because I wanted to be on the even curve because that puts me in a more favorable curve.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, and your deck actually thrives on it. So that's another one of those things in the die roll that you would actually take the draw versus the play. Nice. So those players out there who might want to be a pound in this deck, remember that when you win that die roll, take the draw, or go second if you don't understand what I'm saying.
And here I'm putting 4 onto the Flampe to put pressure on.
Okay.
And swinging 7 to put more pressure on.
Guy's got a full grip here.
And there's the Radical Beam to put his leader to 9.
Okay.
And now I play the 2-drop Luffy, which lets me sack it off for the 5-drop Luffy and give plus 2,000 power to my lead till the end of the next turn, so it makes it a bit harder for him to
swing in.
Yep.
Absolutely. Smart. Good heads-up play. I like that. Shout Luffy getting up and just getting some extra value. I love the way your deck has that synergy. If you can see the right pieces, it seems like it's putting a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
All right. And even got yourself a nice free attack from that
Nami, which wouldn't really matter, but...
Okay.
And there's the jet pistol for the Luffy, but...
Wow. Oh, that was the one that telecasted, right?
Yeah.
That was the one we've already known about it. So at least we got it out of the hand now.
Yeah.
And in this position, do you feel like he's playing a little more defensively because of your situation, or we got another rush over here?
He's realizing he can't swing at 6 with it because of the plus 2,000 to my lead.
Okay.
And here I'm countering again.
Fantastic. So that play even sets you up to the point where you couldn't get that Rush Sorrow in for some extra damage. Great heads-up play from your deck, man. That was awesome.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to be a full Dawn here.
Yep, and I'm putting 2 Dawn in for leader.
That's kind of a normal play for you to take the new 2 Dawn in instantly just because you know you're going to have that. Hey, we got a Teacher's Joe Longs is not following. Thank you for the new follow. Appreciate it. Teacher, get yourself in the chat. Hit something and just say, hey, you get yourself an opportunity to win one of these packs. We're going to give away at the end of the stream.
All right, and I put a 5-drop into life. I think I remember what the play this turn was. I think right here I'm just thinking if I want to swing first.
Okay. And I love that the way that this works. You can swing at any time and then play other characters and other characters, and then also get in for later attacks.
Yeah. But
you're going to get in for the lead here. He's got notably 1 blocker with the 2020 Chopper. We'll see if he eats that. And this face-up card that you added to your life here does leave at the end of the field unless you do something. And I imagine you got to have some card planned to put that face down for you. Adding 2. All right, playing 2 Dawn.
For another Hiyori.
Nice.
To add that
and where you get to control that board. So if you have the right card in hand, that is a best play. I imagine that Greg's got to be thinking, well, he might, he's going to have to worry about those trigger effects.
Right, and there's a 6-drop Edward Newgate, which puts 1 on top of life. Then I get to look, stack my life, and put 1 card from my life on top of deck.
Wow. Okay. But this allows you to put it in any order you want to, so you can really start manipulating this. Seems like a big brain deck. I mean, you got to remember exactly what the order you put it in, make sure it's in the right spot, because there's a lot of times where you can take that free hit to get that appropriate trigger to clean the board state up here.
Yeah.
Really good brain deck. I like it. And is yellow usually that kind of like heavy thinker type of deck strategy here?
Sometimes, although some yellow decks are just like the best yellow deck right now is Katakuri, which just wants to hit hard and just constantly be hitting triggers and stuff. So it kind of depends on the yellow deck.
We're going to see an attack from Tony Chopper?
Yep. and that's lowering the new gate by 2,000.
Okay. For the rest of the turn here.
Yep.
And what happens when you attack into a creature, into a character? Does it doesn't get bent? Oh. Okay.
Yep.
So he was basically stacking the damage so he could get the effect here to get rid of negate.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what happened here?
So he swung into life and used the chopper to sink the new gate, and then used the jet pistol to KO the new gate now that it's 5,000 and under the jet pistol threshold.
Excellent. Okay. So this went to life here.
Yeah.
And then that lowered new gate by 2, just making it vulnerable for this jet pistol. Nice. All right.
And now we're seeing swing 7, or is that 6?
6 from Zoro here.
Yep.
And then we get a regular 5 from lead.
And yep.
And another 2020 chopper. So do you think that might be the reason? Well, he had to get new gate off the board, obviously.
Right.
But new gate's just an impressive card. If you let it sit around for too long.
I mean, it's just a big thing afterwards.
Yeah, and most of these 7, 8, 9, 10 cost characters are just absolutely impressive when it comes to late game, man.
I mean, this one's just the on-play effect and has 7k power. It's like the on-play effect is good. Here you see me play the ace. I knew I had the 5-drop from stacking my life to get more.
And this is the benefit of you being able to stack it in your life and keep track of that stuff. So you get a nice little ace play off from that. That's pretty good.
Yep.
A 2 mana ace. I mean, or 2 Dawn ace here.
Yep. 2 Dawn for a rush unit, for a 7k rush unit, and plus 2,000 to my lead.
Imagine if we can get enough attack on 3 attackers, you could take this game.
And here I'm swinging.
Hey, Kai. No, over here. Our HR manager decided to make a special guest host appearance here. Hey, Kai.
Yep. I was swinging.
What's that?
8 into something. I don't remember, but it looks like I got countered.
Okay. Imagine 8 with what kind of is that? A 1 or 2K?
It looks like that was a 2 2Ks.
2 2Ks. Okay, so I imagine that might have been lead or Zoro. Ooh,
there's another ace.
All right. Yeah. Did you have fun outside? Yeah. All right. That'll be free. Let them free go.
All right, and here I think I'm swinging 9. I think I'm probably just going for life at this point because they only have 1 life, and I think I can just close up the game here.
Absolutely. I can see why. I mean, he's got only 1 blocker here. If he can eat that blocker, now if you can get 1 more attacker, maybe, because you do have an attack with lead at 7, yeah?
Yep.
And imagine this is going to be the 2020 show up block here. Can you make this unblockable?
No.
Okay. Mostly a red effect?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's not an effect that, like, as you can see, countered from hand instead of with the chopper, so.
And now it has 2 blockers.
Yeah.
Setting up a really bad board state here. Does yellow have anything to bin those choppers?
Not particularly, but blue does. So the second half of my deck is able to do that.
Oh, so you can see
he's swinging. He's attempting to swing 5, realizing that the
7
ace is at 7, which jams up the board and potentially saves me some damage.
Now, in competitive REL, takesy backsies kind of a thing here. Is that okay?
I mean, this doesn't matter. I don't really care. This was a common mistake. It's a game.
Yeah, you want to have some fun. You want to have some good interaction. Yeah, it's good of you. Like true gentleman.
Yep. And there's
that's a lot.
Yep, 5 Dawn, and I take.
Okay.
And I believe this is you're the one who should disappear trigger, which lets me pitch a card and add the top card of my life to my deck, so that
was that key combo you were telling us about when you first started talking about this deck.
Yeah.
That last Dawn being able to refill that pool, really setting them off, because a lot of people usually go all in. We're going to see a reset here.
Yep, restand.
And the reset
swinging
into
the ace because realizes that can't lethal me here and wants to take pressure off the board.
Makes sense. All right, expiring on that 2K. It's a good play in your play last turn. But you got full down now.
Yep.
So Let's see what you can do. How many rushes do you have in total in this deck?
It's just the aces.
Okay. And you have 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've seen 2. Got a good chance of maybe seeing potentially 1 or 2 more. And at full Dawn, you can potentially pay 5, but those are exactly 5 into lead. So a lot easier to block, right?
The aces are 7.
Oh, 7. Okay. It's a 5 cost 7? Wow.
Yeah.
That's an impressive
No
play.
counter, though, which is the main downside.
Gotcha. All right. That versatility, being able to hold on to it to stop those low attacks
Yeah.
early game. All right, so we're going to see you add...
So I'm adding 1
Just
Dawn,
one. Okay.
swinging into life, just trying to bait things out to...
Maybe get rid of those 2020 choppers.
Yep. You see a rad beam, so that puts it to 9. And now we're seeing, looks like
For the effect.
2 Dawn, yep, for the effect.
Gonna dig 5 deep, see if you can find some answer here. Total of how much left here? 7 Dawn left for play? All right, so we're gonna put face up. We'll see. We got 7 Dawn. 1 more ace would only cost 5. They'll leave you 2 for an answer to flip that life deck down and get a nice little lead here. Okay, so we're tapping. We got an additional Dawn. 8.
Yep, swing into 8 into the Zoro. Because I guess I figured that I can't lethal through the 2 blockers, so I wanted to get rid of board pressure to potentially stay alive. And here's the new gate to put the face up 1 back and gain a life.
Smart.
And be able to look and stack the 2 life that I do have.
Nice. And then it has to be from the life pool.
Yeah.
You can't take cards from hand and put it face down. Okay. Other cards that allow you to add those to your hand and then put heart cards from your hand face down for your life?
Yeah, that's what the Hiyori is.
Oh, the Hiyori. Absolutely. Okay. I was thinking of like just because you got to pick it a whole thing up with Newgate, right?
Right.
Is there an effect that like picked up the whole life stack, not just the one off? Because the Hiyori I see doing 1 of 2 of kind of manipulation, but it'd be I don't know. I mean, maybe that's too overpowered. That's an interesting effect here. Being able to get to the draw to get those triggers to put those things face down to make sure that you have those at the right moment, the right time. So we got a long debate here from Greg. What do you think he's thinking?
Probably like just trying to figure out if there's a way to negotiate lethal here.
Okay. Well, he's only got really 1 attacker, 2 cards in hand. We've seen him trash quite a bit. We've seen, 3 Zoros or 2 Zoros at this point?
I believe that is 3 Zoros. If that's... Yeah, that's 2 Zoros and trash. 1 was bottom decked by the Gravity Blade.
Mm-hmm. And how many more rushers does this deck have? He just has, 8?
So playing 4 Zoro, 3 Kid Killer, 2 Luffy. So...
We got 9 here.
Yeah.
9 from what you said here.
All right.
Tony Chopper getting into...
Trying to swing over the ace.
Okay.
I countered.
I love those Don right there. I love you, Tony Chopper. I know that wasn't the same, but it's appropriate
Right.
here.
And swinging again, sinking it even... Or to life. Okay. And now swinging the Nami in because it's been lowered enough to be able to be hit over by the Nami.
Okay. Still has to worry about a double swing here. So he's got Newgate, a potential Portgas from your side, and lead coming at with just attacking with both blockers. Can blockers block when they're rested?
No, but there's also still some active Dawn to restand using leader.
Okay. And it costs 4 for that, right?
Yep.
So at least one of those blockers should be being reset here. Getting 2 resources out of hand. Not bad. We got leader coming in OP08. Yeah? Which leader is that?
Oh, Chopper.
Oh, Chopper leader coming in? Oh, what color is this Chopper?
Red, green.
Red, green? Ooh, boy. Tony Chopper going to be seeing some play here. If it's not broken, I'm breaking it. No one as good as my boy, Tony Chopper. So here we see him paying the 4 to unrest.
Restand it.
Yeah.
Has the 1 active Dawn, which makes me think that there's a Radical Beam coming in my future, so I'm trying to think about that.
2 cards in hand. Yeah. Good eye. So you're gonna full Dawn here. We got it looks like you're gonna be at 3 cards, and you get the Dawn effect, or you get the lead effect. So you're gonna be able to dig 5 deeper to try to get a 5 cost. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is one of your rushers that I think you still have left. I've only seen 2 of your rushers at this point.
Right.
That Luffy's not a rusher, right?
The Luffy is not a rush.
Okay. And for those at home that don't understand rush means when on play it can come into attack. It's one of those like hastes if you're a Magic the Gathering player. That's where it really matters to know how many of these creatures can, or how many of these characters can block, and how many of the resources you got to play. And he's only got 2 in hand.
All right, so here I'm swinging 8 with the Newgate.
Or 3 in hand here.
So that pitches 2 Sanjis. I think I was trying to bait out the Radical Beam here potentially.
Okay.
So
the whole Doctor at 15. What does that mean? Is he talking about the health of Edward Newgate here?
Or maybe Chopper, I don't know.
The whole Doctor at 15. I'm not really understanding what you're trying to say there, Diego. All right, so you've got 9 Dawn left.
Oh, Chopper being a doctor at the age of 15.
At the age of 15. Well, I mean, Chopper's a genius. I mean, everyone knows that. If you know anything, Chopper's a genius. You don't even have to understand One Piece. Chopper's a genius. Watch One Piece. Seriously.
Except for when he forgets that he's the ship doctor.
Tony Chopper. All right, so it looks like you're going to stack some Dawn.
Yep.
Wow.
Stacking 5 to attempt to swing with the Hiyori, trying to bait out a counter or a blocker.
So if he gets a block, you know he has no... Ooh! Okay, this could be lethal. Coming in with lead, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, there were... So that was...
You're at 6
5, so 6, 4. Okay, yeah, this is just game, even if they have the Rad Beam. Didn't even have it was a bluff.
Ah. So that was a heads-up play on his side to try and bluff you into seeing it.
Right. I mean, you just got to play like they have it. And...
Smart heads-up play. Smart heads-up play. All right, we got ourselves a win here. Let's get you a star. I feel like I need to move your name over just a bit. We're updating this in real time. I'm sorry about that. They had such a long name for Midnight Witch last time that it just kind of scrolled over. Tied up here. All right, going into game 3. Let's skip ahead a little bit of the One Piece of shuffling, like we could say. So at this point, what is red? You want to be on the draw. Does red want to be on the draw? This red-green movie.
I feel like this deck doesn't really care, and I believe Greg put me on the play to deny me the curve of being on the draw, if I remember correctly.
Oh, so he did recognize that benefit of you being on that curve. Okay. That's one of those things you got to think about heads up. Just because you think it benefits you, sometimes it can hinder your opponent based on their choices. It's really interesting gameplay. And I think you're just trying to shuffle to get to... There we go.
Yep.
Skip ahead, just a little bit ahead.
Yep, here I'm on the play. The deck can manage on the play, but it's not optimal by any means. And here we see the Bonnie.
Wow. And his now showing how versatile it is and how nice it is to start on 2, because it takes 1 Dawn to activate.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, looking deep. We got another Bonnie. Bonnie into Bonnie. Okay. Now, both out, they can both activate, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're going to see potentially a lot of resource gain here. And from your side, this is the time you would probably get rid of this Bonnie? Or...
Yeah, I think that probably is what I'm thinking. And in fact, that's what I'm doing.
All right. Yeah, get this thing off the board because you realize that with 2 Bonnies, you're losing too much of the resource gain.
And I just passed on that because I couldn't do much else.
It's a shame.
And there's the second Bonnie we know. Yeah, this would have potentially been disastrous if there were 2.
Now, I don't want to say this is a play mistake, but should you, if you would have added the 2 Dawn to your lead effect right there, is that like something you might have missed because you were just hyper-focused? No? Or you can do it?
I would have only tried and resolved lead if I knew that I could get something off of it. So if I had nothing I could have played to benefit from using lead, there was no point.
Okay. All right. Just want to let those people at home understand that why that might not have been happening.
Yeah, potentially try and trick them into thinking that I had a counter or something.
Oh, okay. It's nice. Good heads up play. How many counters cost 3 in yellow?
Not very many. And I'm not playing any, so
But they don't know your deck list.
Yeah. And here you see me putting the 5-drop Yamato to life.
Good play to get Yamato. We haven't seen her hit the field just yet.
Yep. Mainly just because it's a 2K counter, and here you see me taking care of that other Bonnie.
Yeah. So you're in the same gameplay as you were this time, because I recognize the last game you were trying to control the board more than go for life than you did the first time, and that would really paid off for you.
Yep. And here you see me use the Flumpe to get the Yamato to hand and draw a card.
Okay. So it was a great shift in gameplay that I saw from this one. I love that it's carrying over to this one. Controlling that board state, get those bounties out the board, even though they're just those little 1Ks. You don't want that resource steam to just take you out of this game. Do they have to? They do. They have to reveal the card, but still, that's just so much more on top of the draw that they have.
So much card advantage,
and just one Dawn every single turn that you let that go.
Right. But even then, the fact that it acts as a pseudo blocker is quite strong. So here, going 5 into life seems like probably trying to bait out a Kid Killer. Maybe goes for the Zoro for 5.
Also, I've noticed a lot of you look to see what you discard. So if they discarded 2 when they only need to discard a 1, it's a heads up that there's a limited amount of counters in your hand here. And what's this? Is it 1 or 2?
That was a 1.
All right. So he might be trying to fish for some information. Oh, geez.
Yep.
Okay, double. That's wow. That's a aggressive and powerful lead by Greg there with double Zoro on the rush, getting into lead and taking. How many life did he hit that turn? 2.
I think he only got 1 life out of me that turn because I countered the other 2.
Okay, but still, the board now being 2 life to 4. And double Zora, that imagine you're going to have to start cleaning these things up.
Yeah.
Now, you do a really good job of controlling what's in that life pool. So, not the end of the world, but that is a large, just massive swing coming from Red Green Luffy and Greg. Oh, we got a tap out here, so we can see.
Yep, there's the Gravity Blade, which sends 2 6 cost or less to bottom of the deck, so that at least outs the Zoros.
Right. Get that board state back in your favor.
Yep. And then swinging for 1 at life. So.
No counter from hand. So sometimes I'm curious here. And I'm looking at some players. He maybe had a 1K right there, an easy discard. But do you sometimes not do it to try to bluff your opponent to think that you don't have an answer?
I mean, sometimes you just want the card.
Okay. Okay.
Like, the fact that sometimes, like, you can take damage, and if it's manageable, and you just want the free card. And so that's kind of one of the interesting things about this is dealing damage actively gives card advantage to your opponent.
Yes. So dealing the life, not necessarily an ultimately bad thing. Lead to life, right? That's the terminology. And I noticed that Greg's got a full grip here. I can see 4 just off in the corner of my eye here. I want to do one of those little squints to see what he's looking at. All right. But then again, I'm not even the expert here. I don't know half the cards in his hand.
All right. So swinging for 1 with lead.
Bates.
And
this is him trying to look to see what you're going to counter with 1 or 2, right?
Yep. And there's the Kid Killer. So that is a massive swing.
Okay.
Pretty much have to take because don't want to dedicate 2 cards to that. And now he's going to play a chopper. Okay.
All right, so he's got himself a blocker, a nice little board state again. It's a shame you don't add. How many of those board wipes do you play? That one that killed 2?
2.
Just 2? Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to see it too much.
Yeah.
It's 7 cost, so it's really expensive.
It did a fantastic job of bottoming both those Zoros, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a counter, and it's not like consistent board pressure.
Just an answer if the board gets out.
And here I'm swinging 7 at something at life. Probably should have swung at the Kid Killer, but
yeah.
Here I'm going for
card resource management here or what?
Probably something like that.
It looks like you whiffed too.
Oh, I remember what this was.
Okay.
I had
stop it?
I had a 7-cost Shanks in hand, and if I hit that, I would have. I got him. I swung into life to put him at 7 cards in hand.
Okay.
And if I didn't whiff that draw, and if I didn't whiff that leader effect, I would have been able to put something in to put a card in life to flip face down.
Ah.
So I could have trashed one of his life. That was the play that I was doing there.
Okay.
But yeah,
it's a shame it didn't pay off. Sometimes that variance will get you. It's a powerful thing. It is the great equalizer.
Yep. And now I'm just thinking of what I need to do from here.
Yeah, well, we got this time while you're in the tank. Just want to remind people, go ahead and get in that chat. Start texting out stuff that we're going to roll a dice to see when you text it in here in the number, the D20. The first person's going to get them a 2020 Chopper Pack with an awesome card and the potential for a $3,500 card. We're saying there's a chance. We're not saying it's going to happen. There's a chance.
All right. So I had the ace, it looks like, and here I'm swinging 9 into the Kid Killer. Try and get it off the board, potentially. Forcing him to decide between the blocker, which he takes.
Okay.
And now,
at least you got the blocker off the board now. So now you got 2 good attackers. You got 3 life here. All you need is get 1 more Portuguese and maybe no answers from his side, which I doubt is the case because it looks like he still has a full grip.
Depending on the contents of my hand, this is lethal on board.
Wow. All right. So imagine, what do you think Red's thinking? Do I control board state here? Do I...
Probably just trying and going in with and trying to secure the lethal. Here I countered. I had to use 2Ks.
Oh, 2Ks. Okay.
Counter for 9 because it's at 8 of the 1 Dawn and the plus 2K from the effect.
Okay.
Just trying to stave off the damage. And here's that. And this is pretty much the end. So there we see that. So now it's
the Dolphy here,
10K.
I'm sorry, the Trafalgar Law here unrested it, and now we're going to get the leader ability to
restand it and swing again. Yeah. And here you see me trying to see if I have enough to counter out. There's
how much of this attack then?
This is 12, so I don't think I do. And yeah, I didn't. That was the game.
Wow, 12 attack because of the rested re-attack. Yeah, that is an interesting card interaction. I'm sorry you didn't have it, but wow. Okay, so we're seeing just how good Trafalgar Law working with Kid. I mean, it's rather interesting here. Would you say you were the Kaido in this situation? Taking down all 3 of the trio here. No spoilers here. No spoilers, but we got Trafalgar Law, Kid and Killer with Luffy on board. Come on.
I mean,
there's some lore implications here.
Maybe if I was playing Kaido.
Have you ever played Kaido?
No, because it was in one of the first starter decks that I just don't have.
Okay. I can't remember if there's a Kaido on that Twitter. I'll check it out during the break here. See if because I did ask for some of those deck lists or starter decks to try and help some people out here. But yeah. Alrighty. So that will wrap it up for round 2. As always, stay home, bro.